Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 4 Reels. So we're going to be continuing our Oscar coverage, and in this episode we're going to be doing Best Original Screenplay. Okay, so here are the nominees for Best Original Screenplay. You got Boyhood, Nightcrawler, Foxcatcher, Birdman, and The Grand Budapest Hotel. I've only seen one of those films, which was The Grand Budapest Hotel, so yeah, Sean.
Coincidentally, I love The Grand Budapest Hotel, and I actually think it has a good chance of winning.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, coincidentally.
What a coincidence.
Good. But yeah, Grand Budapest Hotel, I mean, I'm a Wes Anderson fan. A lot of people love him or hate him, but I think he is a very script-driven director. Like, his films are really strongly driven by that what's on the paper in that script, and I think Grand Budapest Hotel is a great example of that. That's a lot of it is just in the dialogue, and just the whole structure and everything is just really well. I think it has a really good chance of winning, and I love it. I thought it was awesome. It's funny. It's heartfelt and blah blah all that stuff.
What do you think about that, Vince? This is the only time you're going to get to talk.
No, I totally agree. And I mean, I actually haven't seen a lot of his films. I saw Moonrise Kingdom.
Another really good one.
Yeah, no, that one was great. I like this one more, I think. I thought that, like, I was just hooked. Like, Ralph Fiennes, like, his performance in it, I mean, like, he's not up for, is he up for Best Actor? No? I actually think, that could be a bit of a snub then, because I actually thought that he did a fantastic job. I saw only maybe 10% of Voldemort in his character. I mean, maybe even less, I don't know. But, no, just, like, the humor, like, the film was just, even though, like, there was no real action in the movie, but the pace was, like, so fast-paced, and just, like, you were constantly like, this movie is just ridiculous, and it's just like the conversations that they have, and just like
he has very distinct characterizations in all his films, and this is a really good example of it. You mentioned Ralph Fiennes, but again, I think that's all structurally built from that screenplay. But all the characters in the film are just so distinct and so like unique and like just amazing. So
and it also it's also impressive that most of those characters are given their proper screen time and fleshed out when there are so many characters in that movie.
Exactly.
Like he does. Wes Anderson has always done this. The way he writes his comedies, like it's very witty and fast paced. Like it feels like it would not really lend itself to a lot of ad libbing.
Right.
Like the way like people have to be doing exactly what he has on the paper for the most part, and that's really good. Like a lot of the other titles in the category, where it's like Foxcatcher, as good as Foxcatcher was, I feel like it was carried by his performances. The same thing with Boyhood. Like I mean, Boyhood. I don't know, like screenplay.
I mean, I will say this about Boyhood. Boyhood. I mean, there's a lot to say about Boyhood, but in terms of the script, I think the script in itself is so impressive because it had to be what it was and telling the story it was, but also malleable enough because the way that it was filmed and stuff, it was adjusted, right? Things were made, but because of that sound story and that sound, again, with the characters, it was able to still be flexible, and still maintain like such a strong through line and still make sense and still be empathetic, like all those things. And I think that again was grounded in the screenplay.
I think, and this maybe speaks a little bit more towards editing for Boyhood.
Yeah.
But I think that, and it's both because, the gimmick behind Boyhood is that they shoot every year in like a 10-year period or whatever, however it was. You'll be watching the movie, and then one edit later, you've fast-forwarded a year in the future. And the screenplay has to be able to be solid enough in its storytelling to where you're getting the information that you need when you need it.
Like, every scene is exposition, but you don't ever know it's exposition. Like, it's really brilliant how it does that, right?
And for a movie to be operating under that notion where you as a viewer are trying to catch up with the passage of time and trying to stay with the movie, but also receive the information that you need, grow with the characters, it has to come to a good script. So I think that Boyhood also is an achievement in this category.
I think that if I had seen Boyhood, I would have appreciated the fact that they had that in the script.
Yeah.
I personally really like Nightcrawler.
Yeah,
Nightcrawler was very haunting in its writing. It was very subtle in its performances. But I believe that was not like ad-libbed at all. The way it was performed, I felt was directly from the script.
Yeah,
and I felt like it was so good.
Nightcrawler was one of those nice little movies that
subtle.
we were just talking about how we thought it got snubbed entirely. So in a way, it's nice that it has this nomination.
Yeah.
I don't know what its chances are.
I'm not sure what its chances are. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was such a really just like, you know, tight script. Again, I think a lot of that, though, what you kind of mentioned with Foxcatcher was I think the performance really sold it. And the script obviously is, again, strong foundation, but I think the highlight of that was the performance. So I don't know if it really has a huge chance for best screenplay. Going to the last, or we haven't talked about Theory of Everything, but
that's not on the list.
Oh, well then,
what else do we have?
Birdman.
I haven't seen Birdman.
My other favorite one is Birdman. Like, as much as like Grand Budapest is so quirky and very this kind of rhythm to it, Birdman is such a different beast, but so amazing in another, just a completely other way, and it's so personal and so just like inside itself, but at the same time just like about everything, and it's transcends, like, it's really surreal and stuff, but it's still funny and it's still grounded and it's really fast paced. If you haven't seen it, it's just basically one constant, like, it's just like it's over a couple days, but it feels like there's never any down period. It's just like you're constantly moving. So I don't know. I think I thought I love Birdman too. I don't know. Am I the only one who's seen it?
Yeah, I really wanted to see it. But...
Okay. Anyways,
so now that we have got all that out of the
so
way,
Vince, what do you think should win, and what's your favorite?
Guys, I mean, like, I probably have the most experience in this category based off of all the films I've seen. My favorite to win it is gonna Grand Budapest Hotel is what I'm thinking.
That's the one that you personally enjoyed the most.
That's personally what I enjoyed the most out of all of them. It's tough, and I think is probably not gonna win.
I think I'd like to see Grand Budapest win it for this one, just to give Wes Anderson some recognition. However, and I wouldn't be sad with this happening, but I think it might go to Boyhood, if only because that's my favorite for Best Picture, and I could see a sweep happening.
My favorite Budapest, what I think will win, probably Boyhood.
I would like to see Nightcrawler win.
Okay.
I do think it will probably go to Budapest.
Okay. Cool.
I'm glad that the only one that I saw is probably going to win it.
You chose a good one.
Okay.
Unless we're all idiots.
Yeah, well, it'll go to Foxcatcher.